There's plenty of speculation going on right now about the future fate of Young Thug. Why? Because despite being in jail for almost a year, his trial still hasn't started yet. Furthermore, any significant attempt to get that trial started has been met with stalling from all angles. Even if the trial was to go forward, it's hard to say what the verdict of the RICO case against him would be. He's been charged with creating a criminal enterprise and possibly ordering some deaths. So is it possible that he'll be sent away for life, or at the very least a long time? Well, we're gonna break that down for you. Before we do that, go ahead and do us a favor by leaving a like on the video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the bell icon so you never miss an upload from us. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video.
That's the problem with this case. It's coming from the word of people who are getting deals to say, yeah, he was there, or I saw him around, or he gave the order, or I heard from someone else he gave the order. That's what this case is about.
YSL is a music label and a game, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the game.
Yes, ma'am.
The friend update. Metro Boomin has offered fans another update on Young Thug and revealed his longtime friend and collaborator has his thoughts set on his life post-release. Young Metro gave the update via an IG Stories post on March 10th that saw a throwback photo of him and Thugger in the studio. He hinted at the Young Stoner Life Records founder's optimism in his caption. Talk to spider emoji today, and just know when he touched down, the whole earth emoji gon' feel it, bicep flex emoji. The update comes a little over a month after Metro Boomin spoke to DJ Drama's The Streets Is Watchin' podcast about their ongoing communication, and weeks after Young Thug's ongoing RICO trial suffered another setback. We'll get to those later. During the chat from before, he noted the following: "I be talking to him, he's blessed, man," he said at the time. Anybody know Slime know he got a heart of gold, but he got the heart of a warrior at the same time. So like, he's got his head up, and I prayed for him every single day. Even since everything first happened, I prayed for him every single day. He continued, the day he got locked up, he was supposed to be in the superhero video. He had a whole scene set up where he was gonna say the tag and do some other shit. I remember talking to him on the FaceTime. He was like, yeah, I'm finna pull up.
Man, greatly. I be talking to him.
How's he doing?
He's blessed, man. Anybody know Slime? Like, he got a heart of gold, but he got the heart of a warrior at the same time. So like, he got his head up.
The point is that from his friend's perspective, Young Thug is not only doing fine, but he's already thinking he'll get out of this situation and thus be ready to get back to rapping and running the YSL. The thing to note here is that there have been plenty of rappers who think they're going to be fine, and then it turns out that they're going to get thrown in jail, and the key often gets thrown away for a long time. But one could also say that optimism is a worthy trait, so make of this what you will. The prison photo. Another update actually came from Young Thug himself. Young Thug appears to be using his time in jail productively, as he flexed his physical transformation in a new photo taken behind bars. The rapper's sister, Dolly White, took to her Instagram stories over the weekend to share a photo of Young Thug flexing one of his bicep muscles on a video call. "My heart," she wrote alongside the photo of them smiling together. It's good to see that if nothing else, Young Thug is staying focused on what's important during this process, staying out of trouble. That may seem like an obvious thing to say or do, but it's rarely the case. The things that go on inside a prison isn't always known to those on the outside, and staying out of trouble often depends on circumstances and who's the one behind bars. Thug faces 8 charges, including conspiracy to violate the RICO Act and 2 counts of participation in criminal street gang activity, along with multiple drug and weapon offenses. Numerous people associated with YSL, aka Young Slime Life, were arrested alongside Young Thug, and that's what makes the case so important, because the district attorney's office sees this as a true test of state RICO laws and attempting to clean up the streets. That's why while the trial has been dragging along, other things have been going on to show how serious the DA's office is about the case. Lil Woody. A while back, Lil Woody allegedly snitched on YFN Lucci and his crew. This was shown through a video that leaked onto the internet a while back. Moreover, the clip sees Woody talking with presumably 2 lawyers, officials, or colleagues about a murder that's apparently going to happen. Furthermore, the 2 interrogators struggled to get information out of him regarding his knowledge. However, many online presumed that this information led to further investigations and actions from law enforcement. Despite the ongoing court struggles of both Lucci and Thug, it's unclear in which which case this information will land. Not only that, but the two beefing camps faced changes and alterations thanks to the other's involvement. For example, the court pushed back Lucci's trial so that he could potentially testify in the YSL RICO case. YFN Lucci's trial was due to begin January 9th, same as Young Thug's. Atlanta reporter George Cheedy tweeted, "The YFN gang and RICO case is just as wide-ranging as the YSL case. The two are connected. Lucci is a witness, but Lucci's trial date has been postponed," his attorney said. No new court date has been set. Still, the Everyday We Lit rapper's legal team denied his participation in Thug's case. And here we go, Cheedy further reported. "For clarification, Lucci is on the state's witness list. That doesn't mean he's going to testify, but he could still be called. Don't at me with questions about snitching. I don't care." Moreover, he faces charges of murder and gang activity. Also, he claimed to be a stabbing victim in a plot set out by YSL to take him down. Meanwhile, this conversation around snitching in YSL usually revolves around its own members taking plea deals. However, Lil Rod's father recently testified that the district attorney promised him freedom if he snitched on Young Thug. "Miss Willis went down to that jail and told my son if he stated in a video clip. Listen to what I say. I ain't telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know. If he say Thug gave him $10,000 to that boy, then we'll let you out of jail." So there's a lot to process here, as according to the video that has been posted, Lil Woody might have been snitching on his crew for the past 11 years. Though that would raise the question of, well, if he's been snitching, why has nothing come of it until now? The answer to that might be that the case wasn't strong enough at the time. As some stated, the information he might have given to these alleged law enforcement people might not have been viable for one reason or another. But then again, RICO cases sometimes take many years to make and then prosecute. They could have easily been biding their time until they knew that they could get someone like Young Thug, as he's the alleged leader of the gang, on the hook for something big. So there are clearly many moving parts and missing pieces to help make sense of all of this. We'll likely have to wait and see where this all goes. But this does make another reason why we might not see Young Thug outside of court and in prison again. Because if there are people snitching on him, ones who are able to give meaningful evidence to the DA's office, that means that Young Thug can slowly be taken down by those who were closest to him. While the Snitches Get Stitches moniker is something associated with rap, that doesn't mean it won't happen if the situation is right. If you don't believe us, ask 6ix9ine. He knows all about that. As we noted earlier though, a big reason why we might not see Young Thug again is things keep going wrong, or weird, in his trial, and it's hard to release a man who literally hasn't had his day in court. The jurors' woes. On February 21st, a reporter for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution shared an update via Twitter, indicating that Judge Ural Glanville was substantially widening the pool of potential jurors in order to find enough who actually qualify. Judge Glanville thinks we'll need 500 to 600 jurors in the pool after hardships, reporter Shadi Abu Said tweeted at the time. Of those, we'll need to qualify close to 100 folks before strikes. More groups of jurors being brought in February 24th, March 17th, April 28th, and May 19th. That means even with the upcoming court date, there are even longer waits to get the full jury before anything can actually happen. The jury selection process has been brutal on Young Thug since it began on January 9th. As the search for jurors drags on, many potential jurors have expressed concern about the length of the trial, as others have ended up being ineligible for jury duty due to strange circumstances. Shortly after jury selection started, Thug's lawyer Brian Steele claimed that a potential juror had attempted to reach out to him via email. While the contents of the message weren't disclosed during the hearing, it was enough for the judge to order an investigation. Another potential juror found herself in trouble after reportedly skipping court to fly out to the Dominican Republic. Judge Glanville ordered authorities to go to her home and demand she be brought directly to court from the airport. A third juror was dismissed after reportedly calling in sick. While that only sounds like a few problems, those were actually a series of problems in a chain of events that simply won't stop. The jury process is meant to take time to ensure they get fair and unbiased jurors for whatever the case may be. Given the fact that Young Thug is a singer, they might be widening the net to ensure that those who might even be loosely connected to him won't be a part of things. But widening the juror pool by hundreds? That's quite a lot. And even if the jury pool is eventually narrowed to what many want it to be, the trial itself is estimated to take about 9 months. So when you add that up, even in the best case scenario for Young Thug, we might not see him for another year still, and that's only if we talk about the best case scenario. What if he's guilty? That's the question. Because you need to remember that the charges against Young Thug aren't simply because of what happened with the YSL. When he was arrested, a raid was done on his home, and there were weapons found in there that he shouldn't have had. So that was where the additional weapons charge came into play. So if we were to take things at their bare minimum, he could be facing a few to several years in jail, depending on if he's only convicted of 1 to 2 crimes. However, if he's convicted of more, if he has multiple counts go against him, or what happens if some of those witnesses that might be snitches reveal other things that he's done and can prove it, that could tack on more charges and thus increase his time in prison. While life in prison isn't likely, that doesn't mean that there isn't a chance he could get something like decades in prison, and that would be a very big reason why we don't see him again. And there you go, everyone, a look at the latest with Young Thug and how things are possibly shaping out with his trial. Do you think that there's any chance Young Thug won't get put in jail for his alleged crimes? Or do you think the DA will go all in to ensure that he gets put behind bars? What can Young Thug do to escape his fate in your mind? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.